briefly on what they call jargon watch, the low propensity voter. The reason you want your low propensity voters voting early is that they obviously take a lot more of your effort. So if you can get them to vote early, if you rank voters on their intent to vote from 1 to 10, if your 2s and 3s and 4s are voting early, you know your 10s are going to vote.
What's the evidence we have so far, John, about the relative strength of the ground game? The Clinton campaign has banked a lot of hope on the idea that they're prepared all over the country. They're prepared. They've done a ton of work. They have field offices. They have canvassers. They're just out and about. And the Trump folks are more like, hey, we have a media campaign, and that's going to excite people. As we get near Election Day, how do those two arguments hold up?
I think they pretty much hold up. There are two different designs here as well. So the Clinton campaign did the Obama model, which is they built their own ground game, essentially, separate and apart from the Democratic National Committee. It is a lot of Obama veterans, and it is as state-of-the-art as it can be. So there's all of the science and all of the testing of messages and mobilization and persuasion that Sasha Eisenberg and others have been writing about for the last several years. So that means that they say in the cliche when they talk about the ground game is that a good ground game is like a field goal. You have to get really close, but then if you have a good ground game, it can give you those last few points. And so if you are a despairing Democrat, and that might be a redundancy, then you've got to look at the integration between the Clinton ground game and data and analytics operations and think that's going to be helpful to her. The Republicans took a different approach, which is that Reince Priebus, when he did the autopsy or commissioned the autopsy in 2012, it was an effort to both say the direction the party should go in, but also to build essentially a freestanding data analytics and turnout field operation for the party. And the hope was, we will build it, and then whoever the nominee is, we'll just hand it over to them. We'll know where all the Republicans live. We'll look at all of this consumer data and know what they want, do all the stuff that the Clinton people are doing, but we'll do it in the party, and then we'll just hand it over. So that's where we are now, and the question of this campaign will be, did the Republican Party do all of its work, and they appear to be doing it, A, better than in the past, and B, pretty well, in terms of targeting voters, knowing how to get them out, knowing the messages that will move them. But then what happened in the handoff between the RNC and Trump? Did the Trump folks listen? Did the candidate listen? Did they go the places where they should because their vote, would have benefited from a visit from the candidate? Did he talk and stay on message about certain things because they knew they could move, their reluctant Republican voters? And there will be a series of tests. The biggest one, or the bluntest one, is just to look at the tradition.